The DeepSeek, huh? It's been everywhere lately, kind of shaking things up, you know. China's got this new AI powerhouse, and everybody's suddenly paying attention.
Yeah.
What I don't get is, like, why are people so surprised?
Yeah.
In this deep dive, we're using excerpts from the article, um, why DeepSeek shouldn't have been a surprise, to kind of look at that, you know, why this DeepSeek thing wasn't really a surprise, and what it could mean, I guess, for the future of AI.
Yeah, it's a common blind spot, I think. We tend to like look at AI mostly through a Western lens.
Yeah, very true, very true. But this article, it like lays out how China has been kind of like hinting at, well, not even hinting, but like straight up saying, we're going to be big in AI for years. You know, they weren't exactly being secretive about it.
No, not at all. Back in 2017, China, they said, their goal is to be the world leader in AI by 2030. And they really put their money where their mouth is, massive investments in research, talent, partnerships, the whole nine yards.
Yeah, it's like they built this whole environment, this whole system just to like grow AI, you know?
Yeah.
Companies like Baidu, Tencent, Alibaba, even Huawei, like all of them have been putting so much into developing AI.
Exactly. It was never a question of if China could become like a big AI player. It was just when.
Right, right. Okay, but DeepSeek itself, it's not like some, I don't know, homegrown project, right?
Mm-hmm.
This article talks about the role of these open source models, like Meta's Llama. Can you kind of explain that a bit?
Yeah, so Llama, or large language model Meta AI, it's a total game changer,
Right.
Basically, what Meta did was they made their really powerful language model available for others to build on.
Oh, interesting.
So it's this open source approach. It's like they democratized AI development,
Yeah.
And that let companies like the ones that made DeepSeek, they could leverage that existing technology and really speed up their progress.
So DeepSeek didn't have to start from zero, which kind of explains how they were able to catch up so fast.
Exactly, precisely.
Mm.
These open source models have like sped up innovation so much.
Yeah.
But DeepSeek also did something really interesting.
Mhm.
Instead of just like copying, they tailored their model to like the specific parts of the Chinese language and digital landscape.
Oh, that's a good point. I mean, models like GPT-4, they're powerful and all, but they're still like mostly English-centric in how they're designed and the data they use, right?
Yeah, you're right. And that creates limitations, DeepSeek, though, it's optimized for like all the little nuances of Mandarin, and it fits right into China's own, digital ecosystem. It's not just about translating, it's about developing an AI that really understands the Chinese language, culture, and their whole online world.
I see. So it's not just about an AI that like speaks Chinese. It's about an AI that thinks Chinese.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And this whole strategic focus on China's specific needs, it goes deeper than that. Remember DeepSeek Coder?
Oh, right. Their earlier model, the one specifically for making code.
Yeah, that one. That wasn't just a random side project. It shows like a very deliberate step-by-step way of developing AI. You see a lot of companies start with those specialized AI applications before going for those, more general models.
So DeepSeek Coder was like a practice run, a way to build up their expertise and get the tech better before taking on something bigger.
Exactly, precisely. It shows they had a plan, a vision. And a lot of people underestimated that, but there was this big hurdle DeepSeek had to get over.
You mean like how much computing power you need to train these giant AI models? That's something the article really stressed as a possible problem for China?
Yeah, it's a huge challenge. To train AI at this scale, you need a ton of computing resources, especially those high-end GPUs. And it's been harder to get those because of, all the trade restrictions.
It sounds like a total David and Goliath situation. But this article suggests that China's been pretty good, like surprisingly good, at getting around those limitations.
They've got this three-part strategy. First, they stocked up on GPUs before things got, really restricted. Second, they've been working really hard on developing their own chips, like Huawei's Ascend series. And third, they've been focusing a ton on software optimization to get, like, the most out of the hardware they already have.
So they're being smart, finding ways around the problems, and not letting these obstacles stop them. Sounds like we're seeing a China that's really serious about this, strategically building up their AI, and DeepSeek is just the beginning.
Exactly. It's a clear sign that they are in it to win it. They want to be a major force in global AI,
Okay, so now that we sort of get like the background of DeepSeek, I want to dig deeper into what this all means for, the global AI scene.
DeepSeek, I mean, it's not just like a one-off thing. It really shows us how the whole global AI landscape is changing,
Yeah, that makes sense. It's not just about the tech itself. It's got those geopolitical vibes too. But what about like Western AI companies? Can they still, stay on top with China coming up so fast?
That's the question, right? Especially now with open source models kind of leveling the playing field, the competition's definitely heating up. But it's not like a simple winner loser kind of thing. This shift, it could actually be a good thing in the long run.
Oh, really? Why do you think that?
Competition, it often pushes innovation, Having different ways of developing AI could lead to breakthroughs we haven't even thought of. It's like, imagine multiple labs all working on the same problem, but in different ways. You're going to find new solutions that way.
Right. Yeah, I see that. So instead of like a tech Cold War,
Yeah.
maybe we get a more diverse, more vibrant AI world.
That's definitely possible, but it also, comes with challenges. Imagine a future where you've got these different AI ecosystems, right? One's aligned with like Western values, another with Chinese values. How do they work together? Are they even compatible? Or are we going to see the digital world like split up?
A fragmented internet. That's a scary thought. What would that even look like practically?
Think data privacy. China's got this whole different approach to data, how they collect it, how they use it, compared to a lot of Western countries. And AI trained on Chinese data, it might have different biases, different limitations than one trained on, say, European data.
So the same algorithm could spit out totally different results depending on like where it was made and trained.
Yeah, exactly. And that can mean completely different experiences for users. Think about loan applications, medical diagnoses, even like what stuff gets recommended to you online. The AI could make different choices based on the data it's learned from and the culture it's working in.
That's wild and kind of unsettling. Are there other like areas where these cultural differences might show up in how AI is developed?
Oh, absolutely. One that jumps out is censorship and like control. China's internet is super regulated and it's pretty likely their AI development will reflect that.
So like a search engine that uses Chinese developed AI, it might filter results differently than say Google.
Exactly. An AI model built for China, it might be way more likely to restrict info that the government doesn't like.
And that's where you get those worries about bias and manipulation.
Yeah.
Could AI be used to like strengthen those power structures and control what people see and hear?
It's a valid concern, for sure. And it's something we need to be talking about openly, transparently. As AI becomes more and more a part of our lives, we got to be aware of those risks and work to, lessen them. But focusing only on the bad stuff, that'd be a mistake too.
Right. You said earlier that competition can be good for innovation.
Exactly. Having all these different AI ecosystems, it could lead to a wider range of applications and benefits. Maybe one region focuses on like hyper-personalized AI, while another goes all in on AI for sustainability, and another makes sure their AI is explainable, transparent.
So instead of one like dominant AI, we could see AI specialized,
Yeah.
with different regions being the best at different things.
Yeah, that's one way it could go. And that specialization, it could actually lead to more collaboration, more knowledge sharing down the line.
Interesting. How so?
Think of it this way. Let's say one region makes a huge breakthrough in, I don't know, AI-powered healthcare diagnostics. Other regions are going to want that tech, right? They'll want to use it for their own people, adapt it, improve it.
So competition now.
Yeah.
But eventually it leads to everyone working together because they see the benefits of sharing their AI advances.
It's possible. And honestly, that's a way more hopeful picture than, the internet completely splitting up, AI development going in totally separate directions.
But how do we get to that good outcome? It feels like a lot rides on the choices we make now.
Oh, absolutely. DeepSeek, it's a wake-up call. It's showing us that AI isn't just a Western game anymore. And we have to really think about these questions about the future of AI in a world with multiple power centers.
I'm getting the feeling it's less about predicting the future and more about, making it.
You got it. It's about being aware of what could go wrong, what could go right. Having those open and honest conversations about what AI means for all of us and working together to make sure AI benefits everyone.
Okay, so we've talked about, DeepSeek rising up, what China's AI goals mean, and how this could be both, like competitive and collaborative in this new AI world with, multiple big players. Now, I really want to get into what this means like down the road. What are some things that could actually happen as AI keeps evolving?
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting. Like, we're at this point where things could go in a couple of different directions. One way is that AI development just kind of fragments, different
Yeah.
regions, different groups, all doing their own thing. The other way is maybe like more cooperation, more coming together, where we get some shared ideas about what's right and wrong, some global standards for AI development.
Okay, let's break those down. First, the fragmenting path. What would that actually look like?
So imagine a world where you've got all these different AI ecosystems, right? And they're basically operating like separate, I don't know, digital spheres of influence. You've got AI developed in China, the US, Europe, other places, and they each have their own strengths, their own biases, their own rules.
So it's almost like the internet itself could like break apart
Hmm.
with different platforms and services, all powered by AI, but each one catering to a specific region, a specific set of values.
Exactly. And that could have huge consequences for, I mean, everything. Global trade, communication, how countries get along, you name it. Data might flow easily within these AI blocks, but getting it across, that could be a whole other story.
So we could end up with like a digital version of those balkanized countries, everyone kind of isolated in their own little AI world.
Yeah, it's a real possibility. And then you got to wonder, how do we deal with those big problems, the ones that need everyone to work together, like climate change or getting ready for the next pandemic? If our AI systems can't, talk to each other, work together, it's going to be way harder to find solutions.
Man, that's pretty heavy. But couldn't this, breaking apart also lead to a bunch of new innovation? Like as regions compete to have the best AI, we could see some crazy advancement.
Yeah, there's definitely potential for that. Competition can push people to do amazing things. We might see regions focusing on different parts of AI, and then boom, breakthroughs in healthcare, energy, education, who knows?
So instead of one like giant AI controlling everything, we get this more diverse system where different places are the best at different things.
It could happen that way, but it really depends on how these AI ecosystems, actually interact. Are they totally separate, or will there be chances to work together, share what they've learned?
Which brings us to that other path you talked about, the convergence one. What would that look like?
So imagine this. Despite all that competition at the beginning, everyone starts to realize, hey, AI is this global thing. We need global solutions. So we start seeing these shared ethical frameworks, international rules for data privacy, security, and a lot more joint research projects.
So no more digital borders, more like a global AI village where everyone's working together to use AI for good.
Exactly. Think about what we could achieve. AI helping us develop new cures for diseases, find ways to actually tackle climate change, stuff like that.
Okay, that's a much better picture. But also, it kind of seems like a long shot. With all the political stuff going on, it's hard to imagine that level of global cooperation. Do you really think that's possible?
It's definitely going to be tough, but I don't think it's impossible. We're already seeing some, glimmers of hope. There are conversations happening at the UN, other international groups, about setting ethical guidelines for how AI is developed.
So at least people are starting to realize we need to think about this stuff on a global level.
Oh, for sure. And the more we talk about these challenges, the better chance we have of finding ways to deal with them. DeepSeek, in a way, it's like a kick in the pants. It's making us realize, hey, the West doesn't own AI anymore, and we need to be thinking about its development in a way that includes everyone.
I like that. Instead of freaking out about DeepSeek, maybe we should see it as a chance to have these important conversations about where AI is going.
Exactly. The future isn't like set in stone. We're making it right now with the choices we make, the things we invest in, and the values we build into our AI.
So what now? What can our listeners do to make sure AI is developed responsibly, ethically?
Stay informed. Be part of these conversations and make it clear to your, elected officials, the companies making AI, that ethical considerations, the common good, those things have to come first.
It's like a call to action, right? We all have a say in what AI becomes, and our voices matter.
That's right. The decisions we make today, they're the ones that'll determine what kind of AI-powered future we end up with.
Wow, that's a lot to think about. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today. This has been a really eye-opening look at DeepSeek and the whole global AI scene. Until next time, keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep pushing for an AI future that works for everyone.